Hi, Bill. My name is Dale Mahalko, and I have a question for you about the possible scientific basis for the Noah myth. Approximately 20,000 years ago, at the end of the last great ice age, sea levels were approximately 120 meters or 400 feet below where they are right now. Now, prior to the end of the last great ice age, people got used to the ocean level being that low for thousands of years during the ice age. So, the land that was exposed along the coastlines was most likely populated by humans. That land wouldn't have been left bare because as the ocean levels receded at the start of the ice age, that land would have slowly grown with plants and so forth, and people would have just moved down onto the exposed land, and that's the way they just lived for a very long period of time. Now, when the ice age ended, that land was very slowly flooded as the glaciers melted. And I think it's that period of time that is the source of the Noah myth, because these people, their land and their houses and whatever that might have existed would have been slowly flooded out as the sea levels rose. However, the myth says that the flood lasted 40 days and 40 nights, but if we look at the reality of it, the flooding would have occurred for thousands of years. So it certainly wasn't that short a period of time. And the flooding most likely would have had them move multiple times. So they would have moved up the land, but the ocean kept on rising and they would have to move again. And also there were probably islands and peninsulas that were exposed when the ocean levels were lower. That would have been flooded out completely. And so those people would have had to gather everything that they owned and any animals and anything that they could salvage and flee for higher land. So it seems to me that the Noah myth probably does have a very real basis in reality. It's just that it wasn't this short span of time like the story tells it. And also, the story is actually kind of reversed because actually the sea levels went down at the start of the last great ice age, and then they went back up again at the end of the ice age to where we are now. So the waters have not receded. They're still high where they ended. Also, it seems to me that we may be looking for ancient civilizations in the wrong place because we look for them on land and so forth. But it's quite possible that there are buried old buildings 400 feet below sea level where it is right now. Because we also have to remember that silt rolls down the coastlines and off into the ocean off the land. So if there was anything there from 20,000 years ago, it's probably buried under meters of silt on the coastlines. So we may be looking entirely in the wrong place for our ancient civilizations. We probably should be poking around about 400 feet down out in the ocean and digging into the silt to see if we can find any stone foundations or anything. I haven't heard of anyone exploring this avenue for ancient civilizations. I'm curious to know what you think about this. Thank you.